Kristen and the Friendly Dog, a fairy tale by Laura Serrano. Once upon a time, there was an insecure girl called Kristen. She was on the way to see her mom Mary when she decided to take a shortcut through Sunset Valley. It wasn't long before Christine got lost. She looked around, but all she could see were trees. Nervously, she looks into her bag for her favorite toy, Boo. But Boo was nowhere to be found. Kristen began to panic. She felt sure she had packed Boo. To make matters worse, she was starting to feel hungry. Unexpectedly, she saw a friendly dog dressed in a blue t-shirt disappearing into the trees. How odd, thought Christine. With anything better to do, she decided to follow the peculiar dressed dog. Perhaps it could tell her the way out of the forest. Eventually, Kristen reached a clearing. In the clearing were two houses, one made from string beans and one made from ice creams. Kristen could feel her tummy rumbling. Looking at the houses did nothing to ease her hunger. "Hello," she called. "Is anybody there?" Nobody replied. Kristen looked at the roof of the closest house and wondered if it would be rude to eat somebody else's chimney. Obviously, it would be polite to eat a whole house, but perhaps it would be considered acceptable to nibble the odd fixture or lick the odd fitting in a time of need. A crackle broke through the air, giving Kristen a fright. A witch jumped into space in front of the houses. She was carrying a cage. In that cage was Boo. "Boo!" shouted Christine. She turned to the witch. "That's my toy!" The witch just shrugged. "Give Boo back!" cried Christine. "Not on your Nelly," said the witch. "At least let Boo out of that cage." Before she could reply, the friendly dog in the blue t-shirt rushed in from a footpath on the other side of the clearing. "Hello, big dog," said the witch. "Good morning." The dog noticed Boo. "Who is this?" "That's Boo," explained the witch. "Oh, Boo will look lovely in my house. Give it to me," demanded the dog. The witch shook her head. "Bo is staying with me." Excuse me?" Kristen interrupted. "Boo lives with me and not in a cage." Big Duck ignored her. "Is there nothing you'll trade?" he asked the witch. The witch thought for a moment, then said, "I do like to be entertained. I release him to anybody who can eat a whole front door." Big Dog looked at the house made from ice creams and said, "No problem. I could eat an entire house made from ice cream if I wanted to." "There's no need to show off," said the witch. "Just eat one front door and I let you have Boo." Kristen watched, feeling very worried. She didn't want the witch to give Boo to Big Dog. She didn't think Boo would like living with a friendly dog away from her house and all her other toys. Big Dog put on his beef a withdraw and let off a knife and fork from his pocket. "I'll eat this whole house," said Big Dog. "Just you watch." Big Dog pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from ice creams. He gulped it down smilingly and went back for more and more and more. Eventually, Big Dog started to get bigger, just a little bit bigger at first. But after a few more forkfuls of ice creams, he grew to the size of an enormous snowball, and he was every bit as round. I don't feel too good, said Big Dog. Suddenly, he started to roll. He'd grown so round that he could no longer balance. Help! He cried as he whole rolled off down a slope into the forest. Big Dog never finished eating the front door made from ice creams, and Boo remained trapped in the witch cage. That's it, said the witch. I win. I get to keep Boo. Not too fast, said Kristen. There is still one front door to go. The front door of the house made from string beans. And I haven't had a turn yet. I don't have to give you a turn, laughed the witch. My game, my rules. The woodcutter voice called through the forest. I think you should give her a chance. It's only fair. Fine, said the witch. But you saw what happened to the dog. She won't last long. I'll be right back, said Kristen. What? Said the witch. Where is your sense of impatience? I thought you wanted Boo back. Kristen ignored the witch and gathered a house door and tossed it over the fire. Once it had cooked and cooled just a little, she took a bite. She quickly devoured the whole piece. Kristen sat down on a nearby log. You failed, crackled the witch. You were supposed to eat the whole door. I haven't finished, explained Kristen. I'm just waiting for my food to go down. When Kristen's food had digested, she broke off another piece of the door made from string beans. Once more, she toasted her food over the fire and waited for it to cool just a little. She ate it all at a leisurely pace, then waited for it to digest. Eventually, after several sittings, Kristen was down to the final piece of the door made from string beans. Carefully, she toasted and allowed it to cool just a little. She finished her last course. Kristen had eaten the entire front door of the house made from string beans. The witch stamped her foot angrily. You must have tricked me, she said. I don't reward cheating. I don't think so, said a voice. It was the woodcutter. He walked back into the clearing, carrying his axe. This little girl won't fair and square. Now, hand over Boo, or I will chop your broomstick in half. The witch looked horrified. She grabbed her broomstick and placed it behind her. Then, huffing, she opened the door of the cage. Kristen hurried over and grabbed Boo, checking that her favorite toy was all right. Fortunately, Boo was unharmed. Kristen thanked the good coder, grabbed a quite quick souvenir, and hurried on to meet Mary. It was starting to get dark. When Kristen got to Mary's house, her mom threw her arms around her. I was so worried, cried Mary. You are very late. As Kristen described her day, she could tell that Mary didn't believe her. So she grabbed a napkin from her pocket. What's that? Asked Mary. Kristen grabbed a doorknob made from ice creams. Pudding, she said. Mary almost fell off her chair. The end.